Are y'all starting to look rough? I mean, I am starting to look rough. Hence, my girl here, okay? And I don't got no nails. I need some emojis for my nails. I mean, something. Quarantine day number 58. For this week's video, I am going to post my very first red ink corner that I have not posted on YouTube yet because I recorded it all wrong. I'm actually very interested to see how my editing has grown from my first video to video number 6. Last week was my 7th overall video, but my 6th video on YouTube. And if this is your first time to my YouTube page, welcome. I promise not all of my videos are going to be animated like this, but if you would like to see more videos like this one, hit subscribe and the alert button. I promise you will not be disappointed. Thank you for coming. In this week's Red Ink Corner, this video is going to be about how to manage Generation Zers in the workforce. And there are 3 important facts that you should know about a Generation Zer as a manager. As a millennial, I'm going to try very hard to make sure I talk about Generation Zers in a positive light. Generation Zers or iGen, are those of us who were born in 1991 through 2001, 2005, depending on what report you're looking at. The oldest Generation Zer at 29 years old. And so you are full on into the workforce somehow, or out there being an entrepreneur, which 60% of Generation Zers are. In the workforce, we have baby boomers, Generation X, Generation Y, and now the Generation Zers. Hopefully, as a baby boomer, you are retiring out. Generation X, you're moving into the senior executive, highfalutin role up there. Millennials or Generation Y is moving into the more managerial roles or are working alongside Generation Zers. And we are very different. Facts number 1, Generation Zers are more socially conscious and environmentally friendly than other generations in the past. They're more likely to pick an organization whose corporate social responsibility aligns with their beliefs. I had to say that as serious as I possibly could. So some examples to entice the younger generation to join your workforce is hosting volunteer work sessions. So instead of like doing a regular company happy hour, you guys can go volunteer at like your local SPCA or soup kitchen. You could reduce your carbon footprint by not having them come into work every day. Telework is huge. Offering flex schedule is huge for anybody, not just for the younger generation. Things that would benefit, or that they feel that will benefit the community that your company is in, or benefit the environment that your company is in, would be beneficial to your Generation Z employee. Fact number 2. Communication is key. Generation Zers literally grew up with social media in their lap. They grew up with Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. Everything is instant. Everything is at their fingertips. Constant communication, instant communication is important to them. So as a manager, it is important to have an open door policy so that they can feel like they can come to you for anything and you are able to talk to them about anything in regards to work. Because they're used to the instant response back and forth, they are also big on instant feedback. So when they produce or they do something well, they are used to having instant feedback. So as a manager, my recommendation is that you give them that instant feedback. That is a skill that Generation Zers needs from a manager, and it will help them flourish. And that feedback doesn't have to always be positive. It can be constructive criticism. I don't really know how they do with constructive criticism, but I mean, it could be constructive criticism as long as they're getting some sort of instant. The key word here is instant. They're also big on reaping benefits. If they do well on something, what does your benefit package look like? Do you have a bonus program? All of that should be stated up front when they're going through the hiring process, but that's all part of communication. And fact number 3, Generation Zers are technically advanced. Millennials, we can get along with the baby boomers and Generation Xers because we kind of grew up in that like in-between phase. We watched technology become technology. We walked through the AOL Running Man, watched when Facebook got built. We had Facebook when it was just college students. None of this like family, everybody la-di-da-di. We kind of can teeter both sides in the workforce, but now the Generation Zers, they're coming to the workforce and all they know is the latest and greatest technology and why can't we do this better? Why can't we do this faster? So if it doesn't fix, don't break it. That's not right. If it's not broke, don't fix it motto is not gonna work for the Generation Zer. So with the 3 facts that we learned about Generation Zers today, the best way to manage them and make sure that they're happy is establish a good corporate social responsibility, communicate, and give them instant gratification, but instant feedback. Make sure that there's some sort of benefit to what they're working on, what they're doing. If they're doing an excellent job, that they reap some sort of reward. And number 3, let them upgrade you.
Let me upgrade you.
Technology. If you have a process in place that needs to be upgraded, hand it off to them. Let them do it. This is hard. This talking to a camera thing is hard. This is my first video, so please leave your comments below on whether this was dope, dumb, dupe, any of those 3. If you want more information, comment below. I have a ton of resources on this topic because I wrote about this in my dissertation that I didn't finish. I still got the knowledge. Thanks for listening.